with Senator Roberts.
Thank you, Acting Deputy President. Where's the scrutiny on our health authorities? During COVID, drugs were rushed through that would never have been approved on safety and efficacy grounds, such as molnupiravir and remdesivir. Last year, these two inhuman pharmaceuticals cost taxpayers $1 billion. Alternatively, tried and tested drugs that are out of patent could have been used for a fraction of the price. Remember, our authorities and the mouthpiece media called ivermectin horse paste. The statist left rushed to demonise anyone who defended ivermectin because the control side of politics, the left, the so-called left, loves to follow orders. Ivermectin is a Nobel Prize-winning antiviral for humans. Over 40 years, it has saved millions of lives. Around the world, it's now been proven safe and effective as an early-stage treatment for COVID, as it always was. Our health authorities demonised ivermectin to prevent early-stage treatment of COVID, in order to build demand for an untested novel mRNA vaccine. How many died because of the long-term strategy that our health authorities follow and push? A strategy to use COVID as a cover to introduce a class of mRNA drugs that the public would have rightly balked at and rejected. How many died from the side effects of mRNA technology? Technology that was not tested in Australia. Technology that was not tested off the production line, for which the method of production was changed after overseas testing and approval, and the fake trials were at best shambolic, at worst criminally negligent. Why would our health authorities tolerate this? Simply because of a thing called the patent cliff. Pharmaceutical companies are profitable because they develop a new drug and then get a patent, exclusive sale of the drug for 25 years. Drug companies can afford to put that drug through the approval process because, once approved, they add the approval cost to the selling price. Ka-chink, ka-chink. The system of drug patents has created a $2 trillion industry whose tentacles of influence extend to political parties, who happily accept donations, and to health authorities. Tentacles that extend to the US FDA and Anthony Fauci's National Institute of Health, who hold patents on drug processes they license to Big Pharma in return for hundreds of millions of dollars in personal royalties. Tentacles that extend to the World Health Organization, the United Nations and the World Economic Forum, whose young global leaders sit in our parliament, this parliament, influence that our health authorities cultivated while coveting lucrative careers in the pharmaceutical industry. For example, just 8 months ago, after approving Pfizer's untested COVID injections, Professor John Skerritt, former head of the Therapeutic Goods Administration, the TGA, is now on the board of the pharmaceutical industry lobby group Medicines Australia. This isn't the normal operation of a free enterprise system that one nation would support. This is a cabal of greedy, unprincipled, evil individuals treating everyday citizens as cash cows. They want everything you have for themselves, including your health. The patent cliff is actually upon us now. There's increasing urgency, desperation in the measures being rammed through government. 2/3 of the revenue from drugs being sold to you are out of patent now or will go out of patent over the next 5 years. That threatens Big Pharma's harvesting of humans for profit. Modern drugs, once out of patent, can be made for cents a tablet, and India specialises in that. Australia used to, and we can do it again. The patent cliff threatens the entire pharmaceutical industry and stops the ability of chemical pharmaceuticals to do better than they are now in terms of profit. From where are the new patents going to come? I'm glad you asked. mRNA, of course. 400 new mRNA vaccines and drugs are currently under development. 2 manufacturing plants are being prepared here in Australia. Such is the expected volume of these things. Our health authorities decided to press ahead with mRNA technology to save the pharmaceutical status quo, the pharmaceutical gouging of people to extract exorbitant profits from people. Patient harm apparently no longer matters. Last week, a study of 99 million COVID jab users, including in New South Wales and Victoria, found the product was not safe. The study was published at the world's leading scientific publisher and data analytics company for more than 140 years, Elsevier. The study showed the following conditions were occurring above baseline levels. Brain and spinal cord swelling up 380%. Blood clots up 320%. Guillain-Barré syndrome up 250%. Myocarditis up 278% for Moderna, and for Pfizer up 350%. After a second injection, myocarditis was up a damning 610% and pericarditis was up 690%. I told you so 4 years ago. Many good people warned the COVID products were not tested, were experimental, and warned that forcing them on the general population was an insane, inhuman abuse of government power. And now look at those figures. Another area for a Royal Commission to investigate. It's time for an entirely new medical paradigm in this country and throughout the West. Pharmaceutical companies are embracing mRNA as their saviour because it can be patented, so they can charge what they want for it, whatever they like, and compliant health bureaucrats like our TGA, acting out of self-interest, protect pharmaceutical companies from financial harm. The expert medical advice the TGA relies on comes either directly from drug companies or from advisors who have worked for Big Pharma, or who accept research grants or sponsorship from Big Pharma, or who covet doing so in the future. After all, $29 million Sydney Harbourside mansions don't just buy themselves. These are things that make for a Royal Commission. One thing that should not wait for a Royal Commission is a system for getting natural, cheap remedies into our health approval system. Australia needs an Office of the Consumer Advocate to oversee complaints and the harm bureaucrats cause. Bureaucrats who appear incapable of acknowledging odious and obvious adverse events. We need a consumer advocate or a natural product advocate to advance natural products that can't be patented, yet are safe and effective treatments. Products listed under Schedule 4 and offered under the PBS as frontline medicine, not watered down and sold in supermarkets as complementary medicine so their efficacy can be dismissed. Albicidin, for example, a natural antibiotic with clear potential to become our leading antimicrobial, and that's proven to not create a resistance. Albicidin could be the answer, and highly likely is the answer to antimicrobial resistance. Antimicrobial resistance is the new climate change, allowing for control over agriculture, medicine, household and industrial cleaning in the name of reducing use of antimicrobials. That's why an alternative solution, using an antimicrobial that doesn't cause antimicrobial resistance, is being ignored and quietly buried to protect globalist profits and to control people. And to hell with human and animal health and safety. Globalists want control. Globalists need control to complete their agenda. Take another example. Blushwood is an Australian native berry shown in a 2014 test to kill skin cancer in just 10 days. Did our health authorities rush to understand this plant and bring a potentially life-saving medication to the market? No, they did not. Another one, conolidine, is a natural treatment for severe pain. Ignored. Natural remedies include cannabis. Senator Pauline Hanson has led the way and been advocating for medicinal cannabis since 1996. I joined her, and now there are others. A recent paper pointed out that natural products work differently to chemical products. Yet our system for understanding and testing substance efficacy is geared to chemical drugs. The paper and system offer a new way to measure efficacy that confirms plants like cannabis and conolidine do work and explains how they work. The truth is this. Currently, only when a product is patented and presented to the TGA on a plate, ready for the TGA's rubber stamp, does it enter our pharmaceutical system. I urge the Minister for Health to introduce a consumer natural products advocate to provide much-needed supervision and accountability over our health authorities. Failing that, I ask the Greens to consider if the agency they're establishing with the legalised cannabis bill would be better suited to handle natural medications in general, those that the TGA refused to handle in addition to cannabis. In the examples I've used in this speech, I'm not offering medical advice. I'm asking why the Health Department and medical schools' first response is to the scalpel and the prescription pad instead of natural medications that cost a fraction of the price. We must have an independent office in the TGA with the budget to sponsor natural alternatives through the safety testing and efficacy stages, and to have these promoted to doctors who most likely have never even heard of them. We must look at the influence of pharmaceutical companies in the education system for medical people, in their relationship with former Health Department executives, and their influence through advertising and sponsorship. The toxic, inhuman, killer pharmaceutical-only model is failing Australian taxpayers. People are dying needlessly. Stop so-called health authorities and committing homicide, child homicide, infanticide. As a servant to the people of Queensland and Australia, I say, call a Royal Commission now and make an immediate start on the obvious reforms we need to our health administration.